on the Mustangs Sports Network from Learfield. This is Mustangs Mic'd Up, featuring an in-depth look at all things SMU athletics. It's everything you need to get your Mustang fix, from the court to the gridiron. Now, here's your host of Mustangs Mic'd Up, Rich Phillips.
Good evening. Welcome to another week of Mustangs Mic'd Up here at Ozona Grill and Bar. I am Rich Phillips. Happy to have Bree Sorensen joining me here on the show this evening. We got a packed show. Lots of coaches here from SMU joining us tonight. We'll have women's golf coach Lauren Mason coming up shortly. Also Adia Barnes from the women's basketball team. And men's basketball associate head coach Chris Capko will be joining us as well. But first up here tonight, let's welcome in the SMU diving coach, Darrian Schmidt. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
A repeat performer for us. We had John back in the fall as well. You're in your 9th season here coaching both the men's and the women's diving teams at SMU. Very young but very successful men's team for you so far with just one senior, a sophomore, 2 freshmen. How's it been going?
Yeah, it's been good. They're pushing each other every day. There's a lot of energy every day. We have more 3-event kids with the 1 meter, 3 meter, and the platform, so that's been awesome for us. And yeah, we're looking forward to the end of the year.
Yeah, as Rich just mentioned, such a young team, but they're able to perform so well. So what is it about their maturity level that really makes them so excellent while being so young?
Yeah, there's a lot of experience there at the junior level between the guys, and they're all competitive. They want to get better, and they're pushing each other every day, so that's been some fun energy in the pool.
You did have a senior day for one senior, John Diamond, and he's had a great run for you here, hasn't he?
Yeah, John's awesome. You know, he came to us a few years ago from Miami of Ohio, and he gives a lot to the team. He's a great guy.
Yeah, with him being a senior with such a young team, how have you seen him take on that leadership role for your younger, divers?
Yeah, he fits into that role naturally because he's older and he's been here longer than the other one, so he kind of knows our flow and our pace at practice, and he helps just bring them along with us and get them on board with what we're doing.
The women's team also fairly young, too. No seniors. And at the Tennessee Diving Invite a couple of weeks ago, you had 3 divers in the top 10 on the 1 meter, the most at the event. Sounds like the team's really coming together for you on the
Yeah, it
side.
is. You know, the second semester started off really good with that meet. Really good winter break, just training. And, yeah, the girls are stepping up and getting ready for championship season.
All right, Coach, it is time for our Mustang Minute. We're just asking about a minute or so of just fun questions here. Now, first question, what's the biggest diving misconception that people have?
That's a good one. I would say just most people that aren't familiar with the sport, they group us in with swimming.
Okay.
They call us swimmers or just say, well, how's swimming going?
Not
like,
us.
well, we're divers. It's a little bit different. And then I always get, well, you're both in a pool, same thing. Like, well, it's not the same thing.
Not quite.
If you got 2 different sports on the field, is it the same just because they're on the field? No. So
divers, not swimmers.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say on the website it's always swimming and diving together, though.
Yeah, so they are together, but
See?
just like track and field, 2 different things. Yeah.
No doubt.
Good point. Good
You're right.
facts right there. Okay, what's the most embarrassing or worst diving smack as like a diver that you've personally done?
Me personally, I think this was my freshman year, but off the 10 meter, the highest platform, I took a pretty bad splat on my back. I was in the hospital for 2 days, punctured lung.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, severely bruised lungs. That was pretty bad.
Ouch.
Hospital for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's
Like the puncture wasn't that serious. The bruising in the lung was the serious thing. They wanted to monitor me for 2 days.
Yeah, as they should. I mean, and just to reference you guys, he is a 4-time All-American, 4-time Big Ten champion, and 2-time Big Ten Diver of the Year. So, yeah, give a round of applause for that. So that wasn't happening all the time right there. How about favorite activity to do in your free time?
That's changed a lot now that we have 3 young kids, but say our only fun thing that we do now, as a family, we like to cook almost every day. So we get the kids involved and at least try to cook dinner. We also do breakfast. When I don't have early mornings, have to be at the pool, we'll do usually breakfast and dinner each day.
Your best dish? What's your... What do you know?
I like to grill, so meat on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's it for our Mustang Minute. Thank you, Coach.
All right. The ACC Diver of the Week Award. Can we just name it the Luke Sitz Award?
Sure. That's good. That's easier.
He's only won 5, and you've had 2 others win it this year. It's been a really good run in the league for you, in the conference for you guys this year.
It has. We're trying to make our mark on the ACC.
What is it about Luke that sets him apart so much from everyone else?
He's a fierce competitor. So he loves the spotlight. He loves the big moment. He likes stepping up to that. He's very, very talented, very strong, so he can do some higher degree of difficulty dives that not all divers can do, and that helps him a lot.
Yeah, to talk a bit more about him, it says, 2025 USA Diving Winter Nationals, he medaled in all 3 of his events, which is so difficult to do. So what is his, training like? How is he able to be so diverse in so many different events to do so well in every single one of them?
He's more of a springboard specialist. He does dive a little bit of platform, mainly for college, just to score some points for the swim team. And he's very talented on tower. We just monitor him just for injury up there, but springboard, that's his niche, and that's his baby. So anything that involves the springboard, he's going to excel at.
Also at the USA Diving Nationals, Grant Cates advanced to the finals on the individual platform and the synchronized platform. Another one of your young guys really starting to emerge for you, isn't he?
Yeah, Grant was great, had a great meet at Nationals. He's trying to put together just that solid list all in one competition. And he's got one dive that we're not doing right now on the 10 meter that he can do. More for college season, you don't have to do a full list on 10 meter. So as he gets that dive back in his list on 10 meter, I think he'll have even better showing at the national stage.
Yeah, talk a little bit now about next meet. You're on the road, number 14 LSU, January 24th. After that, you have Utah as well, then ACC championships after that in February in Atlanta. To talk a little bit more about Luke Sitz, he leads the ACC in both the 1 meter and the 3 meter, as we mentioned. But last year he came with 2 medals, silver medal on 3 meter, bronze. He had 1 meter. How hungry is he to get that gold medal now this year?
Yeah, I think he's ready. It's all about what happens when the whistle blows. So even if he's fully prepared or not, that can work for him or against him. But yeah, he's hoping to come home with some different color hardware this year.
Yeah.
And then after those ACC championships next month in Atlanta is the NCAA zones plus the championship in March. All 4 male divers have made an NCAA zone cut on at least one event. One of your female divers has 2. First, what do they have to do to make those zone cuts right there?
It's just a certain score. So mainly for the girls, just having a good, consistent meet. They're all capable of that. They all have the talent, the right dives to use. Stringing them all together, they do 6 different dives in every competition. So it's the score of all 6. So if they can just get a little more consistency in the next couple weeks as we go into zone championships, they should have their qualifying score.
What kind of diving can you do today?
Zero. Zero. Maybe talk about it.
0? You can't do any?
No
Or
diving.
you won't do any?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, I think.
It comes to a point where you got to know, right? It's
I
time,
could
right?
fall off the board and maybe look a little more graceful than
I do.
Than you, maybe, but I don't know though.
You said you have a pool now at your home, so not even at home with the kids, like one little dive in
I'll
the deep end?
fall off the side with them, but yeah.
You don't want to encourage that activity with small kids, right? It's dangerous.
They can do whatever they want. Just don't make Dad do it.
Very nice. All right, well, hey, Darrian, we appreciate the time. We hope you do get to go to LSU this weekend, by the way, weather pending.
Yeah.
And good luck the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
That is SMU diving coach Darrian Schmidt joining us here on Mustangs Mic'd Up. Do want to remind you, we're brought to you in part by Revel XP. While the football season is over, it's never too early to start planning your future SMU game days with Revel XP. Revel XP delivers hassle-free, full-service tailgating just steps from Gerald J. Ford Stadium. They handle everything from setup to cleanup, so when kickoff comes, all you have to do is show up and bring your Mustang pride. Whether you're hosting clients, reconnecting with alumni, or gathering friends and family, Revel XP makes game day easy, elevated, and stress-free. Start planning ahead and be the first to know when the 2026 tailgate packages become available. Visit revelxp.com/SMU to learn more. We'll have women's golf coach Lauren Mason up here next on Mustangs Mic'd Up. Welcome back here to Mustangs Mic'd Up. Rich Phillips along with Bree Sorensen here at Ozona Grill and Bar. We'll be back here next Wednesday night as well at 7 o'clock and on the SMU Mustangs Facebook page. The show always is brought to you by the SMU Cox School of Business. Next up, let's talk a little bit of women's golf with the golf coach, Lauren Mason. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
We just found out she's a fan of the show. She knew I wasn't here last time. I'm impressed. Nice to be missed, by the way. You guys completed 4 events in your fall schedule. How did you feel that the team fared in the fall portion?
I think we did a great job. We didn't finish outside the top 4 for all of our events. Actually, in fact, we played in three of our 4 events that we played in were actually ranked top 10 in the hardest and strongest fields. So that was pretty impressive. So really looking forward to what's to come this spring season.
Absolutely. Coach, talk a little bit about Emily first. And she was named the Barbados Female Athlete of the Year. I mean, why is she so deserving of a worldwide title like that, and how much hard work that she puts in?
We call her Barb. That's what she goes by. So, yeah, Emily, Barb for us. We call her Barb because she's from Barbados, and it just suits her a lot better than Emily, and she'll agree. But you know, she is so deserving of all the success that's coming her way. She buys into what we do as a program. She is extremely coachable. Over the winter break, she played in 2 major events, was in a playoff for both of those, so ended up finishing runner-up in both. Right before Thanksgiving, she was ranked 152 in the world, and right now, she's 86 in the world.
Wow.
So it's a credit to her. It's a credit to her hard work, and she's a great person to be around. Those of you who know her know how much she cares about those that are in her corner, and you know, she's going to do fantastic things beyond SMU, and she's going to represent us with a lot of pride. And yeah, she's got a full-time job next year on the Epson Tour, so she is employed. She isn't unemployed, and so that's the running joke right now, is that she has a job.
Yeah, Coach, for her to be ranked so highly, I saw a quote from her that said the way she's gotten so much better too this last year, she incorporated more like rest and recovery because she was working so hard. As a coach, how have you seen her really work on that as well?
Yeah, she does a great job in managing her time. She is constantly visiting with John, our athletic trainer. They make a great team together, and she just does things the right way. She buys into health and nutrition. She does a great job in the weight room. She does a fantastic job in collaborating with practices and really planning out her schedule outside of what we do as a team. She goes and plays in big events and backs herself on her own, and you know, to do all of our season stuff and then outside competition stuff, you know, your body does break down, and it's not the easiest. So she does a fantastic job in just taking care of herself and knowing her limits. And yeah, I mean, credit to her.
And you got another senior leader in Mackenzie Lee who just continues consistent run for you. She broke her own SMU scoring record last season in scoring average. Is she even better this year as she's come back for her senior year?
You know, Mac will continue to break her own records. She is a record setter for us, and that's what she does. She breaks records. She's a fierce competitor, and, you know, she came in as a freshman and rewrote our record books, and I have no doubt this upcoming spring she'll continue to do the same thing.
Yeah, besides we talked about, you know, those 2 seniors, who else can we look forward to? Any young talent as well that we can look forward to this upcoming year?
Yeah, really excited for what's to come this spring. We have 6 players on our team that could be a number 1 player any given week.
Wow.
So we have a ton of depth, and so that's the exciting part for us and our coaching staff and our program. So you've got Celine Chen that's coming off playing in Australia. She just finished 6th place there. She was in the final pairing, 2 shots behind the lead going into the last round. And so really excited to see what Chenny can do this upcoming spring. We've got a new addition on the team, which is Kira St. Laurent. She's coming to us this spring, and she's had a lot of international experience and success. So looking to see what, you know, she can do and add some special sauce to the team as well. And then you've obviously got Grace Jin that won Texas Player of the Year. That was announced in December. So she's a transfer that's joined us from Sam Houston State. She played for us in the fall, and I think she's definitely owning her craft and earning her competitive edge being kind of at SMU. So looking forward to what she can bring to the team this upcoming spring. And then you've got Yoon Jung Ha, who's from Korea. She transferred in from Baylor to us, and really excited to see the work that Yoon Jung's done over the break and see what she can put up for us in the spring. But it's going to be a hell of a season, and I'm super excited for it.
You mentioned Celine Chen placing 6th there in the Australian Master of the Amateurs, one of, I think, 3 of your players that you had in that event. It's a pretty prestigious event to have them in, isn't it?
It is incredible. I was there doing some recruiting, same with Carly, our associate head coach, and, it was great to watch our girls in action while also identifying some other potential recruits as well. And so all 3 girls made the cut. That was really great experience. They were able to play 4 rounds of great golf, and then obviously traveling straight back to school here. So it was very nice.
That's awesome. All right, Coach, it's time for my favorite part of the show, the Mustang Minute. First question, favorite golf course of all time?
I would say one of my favorite golf courses of all time is actually just a golf course that I grew up kind of playing and being a part of and a member of. Back at home on the Sunshine Coast. So Twin Waters Golf Club. Okay. That's where I did a lot of my training. That's where my coach is based. And I always have great joy in going back there and having some friendly banter and playing there. But also, too, if I ever bring people with me, there's a ton of kangaroos there, and they just don't believe it. So it's a pretty fun thing to do. And, there are a lot of great golf courses that we get to experience and play. And so, I just think one of the golf courses at home brings back a lot of great memories for me.
Like, how many kangaroos are we talking about on this course? Like, you see one, like, every so often? Like, are they, like, squirrels out there? Like, how many kangaroos are we talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing rabbits on a golf course. So there's a number of them. I would say that there's probably at least 100 to probably, I would say around 100 spread across. And they're some days if it's hot, they're kind of chilling in the shade. Other days they're kind of right in front of you, and they don't move, so you have to navigate around them. It's kind of like having an alligator or a crocodile like on one of the golf courses where you have to shoo it away. They're much larger than you. A lot of them have bigger biceps than regular people, and so it's quite intimidating sometimes as well.
Like, don't pet the kangaroo signs all over.
No,
no, you just know.
There's no signs. There's nothing nothing warning people or anything. They're just there. So
what was your favorite part about growing up and living in Australia?
I would say the relaxed, carefree, kind of no worries environment that we have. It's appropriate to wear flip-flops wherever you want. And so I actually have a flip-flop tan at the moment because I've just come back from Australia, as opposed to a sock tan, which, I get every day.
You're not wearing your flip-flops around Dallas in this weather?
I wish. If I do, the girls are like, put your dogs away. Like, we don't want to see that. And then obviously my Australian players are like, it's fine. Like, it's normal. Yeah. So.
Well, thanks, Coach. That's all we have for the Mustang Minute.
Do the kangaroos get mad if they get hit?
I think they groan a little bit, like it's more like what are you doing? But or they'll fight each other. That's quite entertaining too.
Because I've run across a kangaroo like at the kids' petting zoo. Yeah, and they're dangerous. I think.
They are.
Yeah. We had one rise up, with our little baby sitting right in front of us.
Yeah, and they can't go backwards. So
they can't go backwards.
Yeah, no, it was frightening for a moment there with a small baby. All right, you've had some time off from competitions from the fall before the spring schedule starts up here February 1st. What's been the training focus for your team in that period?
So we started our season in Japan, and so we haven't been able to get together as a group until tomorrow is going to be our first team meeting. The girls have been doing kind of a lot on their own. I've kind of seen them in and out of the facility. We started workouts on Tuesday, so we're in our 8-hour segment until tomorrow. So I've kind of just let them have some time to themselves. This upcoming weekend, with the weather, we were planning to do 3 rounds of qualifying for our first event. Carly's sitting back there. She's rearranging some flights, writing an itinerary. We are flying out to California, and so we will be playing a practice round at PV, which is Palos Verdes, where our first tournament is, and then we're going to use our time wisely. In 3 weeks' time, we go back to play at Rolling Hills, so Sunday we'll play there. So there's going to be some good tournament prep there, and I think it's going to be very valuable that the girls are going to have to qualify on golf courses that we're going to play in the future. So it's kind of, nobody has a competitive advantage. I think Mac's the only player, and she did this freshman year, was play at PV. So really looking forward to seeing what the girls can do.
Yeah, with such a long break like that, are you still recommending for them to still train at home? Like, what is the training schedule actually like with such a long break?
Training schedule, obviously we can't really enforce too much. We can make recommendations, and that's where a number of our players obviously playing international competitions around the world and kind of still stick with their own training regime and things like that. But obviously, too, there's only so much you can do. A lot of what the girls do, they're so disciplined in what they do. They're so competitive that they have been working hard at home. So, again, taking them and going and playing this weekend, we're not doing any mass practice leading up until going. And so it's a credit to our ladies that, they're owning their craft. They're doing what's needing to be done in order to be ready in 2 weeks' time. So once we get back from California and the weather's hopefully a little bit better here in Dallas, that's when we'll do a little bit more team practice and focus on maybe cleaning up some stuff. But I think the girls are going to be ready to go.
Your spring schedule starts up on February 1st with the Therese Hessian Regional Challenge. I know that's a special event named for a former Mustang great.
It is. So Therese played at SMU. She was a part of our 1979 class, and she 1979 national championship team, and same with Kathy Marino. She's an SMU alum. She coaches at Jesuit University or Jesuit High School. And so with that, both of those ladies will obviously be at the event. It's the Therese Hessian 30th anniversary of that tournament. So we're really excited to obviously go and play and be a part of that event.
Yeah, how cool is it to talk to your student athletes and talk about Therese and just say, like, hey, if she can do it at a program like SMU, you can do it as well?
Yeah, I think she's been a great mentor for me as a coach, and she's been always very supportive of our team. She texts us when we're playing well. She roots for us, and she's just always there to offer some support and advice. And I think, she does make some trips back to campus, and so when she is here, we're able to immerse ourselves and, ask her a bunch of questions and really have our ladies ask her questions and just get some advice. And she's a great person. She's part of the U.S. national team coaches as well, and so she's staying busy even though she's retired, and so we're really looking forward to meeting up with her and Kathy next week.
The teams qualified for the NCAA Regional in 3 of the last 4 years. What's needed to do that again this year?
I think we'll do it. I don't think there's any question
Confidence.
about that. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think there's any question about that. I think our focus is on the national championship. Again, I referenced us playing in, really strong fields in the fall, and so we're doing the exact same thing this spring. Our ranking right now is 31st, and I think us going out and playing well this spring, it can only get better from there. And then, we've got our sights set on making a championship run this year, and I don't think regionals is any doubt there. I definitely think that we're focusing on trying to create some history and finish better than 11th at the national championship.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Coach, rosters are changing every year, but what do you think makes this group specifically special and for them to be so successful?
I think it's the experience that we've got 2 great seniors kind of leading us in Mackenzie and Emily. Emily had the opportunity to turn pro and go to stage 3 of Q school, and she turned that down to come back and finish what she started with us. So for us as coaches and for our program, that is massive. And so really looking forward to seeing what we can achieve as a group, having them kind of at the helm, guiding us and pushing us. And then, again, we count 4 out of the 5 scores. So it takes a whole team to get this done. And like I mentioned earlier, we have the depth to do it.
Well, awesome. Well, Lauren, we love the confidence. We look forward to a deep run by your team this year. Thanks for joining us again tonight.
Thank you. Pony up.
Let's hear for Lauren Mason, the women's golf coach, joining us here on Mustangs Mic'd Up. We'll talk women's basketball with head coach Adia coming up next year at Ozona. Welcome back here to Mustangs Mic'd Up at Ozona Grill and Bar. It's brought to you each week by the SMU Cox School of Business. Preview the SMU Cox School of Business MBA and specialized master's programs at our Spring Preview Day, January 31st. Learn more about our top-rated programs, hear from current students, and tour the campus and our facilities in the David B. Miller Business Quadrangle. Register at smu.edu/Cox/Mustangs. Let's welcome up our next guest here. It's women's basketball head coach Adia Barnes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I wore my sparkle. I made my sweatshirt bedazzled just for you guys. See that I made the custom sweatshirt just for you guys.
We saw it the moment you walked up.
I know. See, bedazzled. No, actually, my friend made it for me. She borrowed my sweatshirt. She was like, "Can I have your sweatshirt?" I was like, "Sure." And then she bedazzled it for me.
There you go.
It's pretty popular. All the players want one.
Well, you're coming off Sunday's 83-76 win at Pitt. Many great things coming out of that, but I would say more than anything, the girls needed that, didn't they?
No, I needed that.
Yeah,
yes,
everyone needed
I needed that for sanity, and the girls needed it too, yeah.
And just talk about what it took to get through that, and I know it was an up and down afternoon too.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's freezing in Pittsburgh. I'm talking about that, and we're having a snowstorm that it's like doomsday here in Texas. But I'd never been to Pittsburgh. Obviously, they were in a situation very similar to us. They really needed a win. Both have a lot of injuries. They had some of their best players out, so that's usually what happens kind of on the lower end of the ACC, just struggles with that. So we were just hungry, and I think our players did such a good job of fighting through adversity. I think we competed at a higher level than we've competed all year long. They really had great chemistry on the floor. They were fighting for 50-50 balls, and some of the stuff that I questioned a month or two ago, they really put into play, which it's hard to do when you've lost a lot of games in a row.
Right.
I mean, Coach, we have to talk about Zara's performance. Yeah, round of applause for that 40-point performance.
I know.
Coach.
I told her I should have sat her at 39 because my highest points in college were 39.
And she just
I know. I should have like, oh, you have 39. Let me sit you. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, she's in the record
she was
books
great.
now. The third most points scored in a single game in program history, and the most since Shauna Ford scored 42 against TCU in 1997. So
that was a long time ago.
Yes.
She should have had 43 then, Zara. You suck.
Oh, next game,
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
But she can't take 40 shots. You have to take under 20 shots. No, she had a great game. And what I have to say about that, why it was so impressive, was Zara is not a point guard. And Zara, I think the first game she played, she did not play a good game. She was shooting up bricks. She was. But she had to have the point guard duty. And so I think she was like, oh, damn. Like, I got to be the point guard, she was like 40 minutes. I'm like, no, 39 and a half. But she had to be the point guard. She had to adjust the first game. So I think the second game, she just found a rhythm. She was hot from the three-point lines, but she had to play the point guard for 39 minutes, Zara? And defend. She didn't like to defend that long, but she defended for some of that too. But it's hard. We went into that game with no point guard, with no backup point guard, and no guards on the bench. So I looked on the bench a couple times. I was like, dang, we got a 4 or 5. Like, no guards on the bench. So at one point we had like Yana and we had Nay at the 2 and the 3. And then so we had like 4 post players. Because Yana's like a 3-4, Ja's a 4-3, but she's more of a 4. So we had like no guards in the game sometimes. So it was like point guard by committee. So that's why that win was even more impressive, and we needed it for sure.
Yeah, so many different. I mean, your team's battling so many injuries right now, so low on players. So how proud are you of this team though to be able to step in and stand up for these different positions that they never have probably played in years?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if you'd have told Zara before the game you're going to play the point guard for 39 minutes, you're going to score 40, you're going to win, she'd be like, huh? No, I'm really proud because we do have 7 players out, and pretty much we have like 3 starters out, pretty much. And so just to battle that, we have limited positions, and to just play a game just in general without a point guard, it's really hard. It's like football playing without a quarterback. So that would not be a pretty game. That would be very ugly. But Zara did a really good job. She ran the team well. She's not the most vocal. She's learning, but it's just point guards have this natural thing, but she was able to score for us, run the team, and I think Jazzy did a really good job. She moved into the starting lineup. She really brought us this defensive energy. I thought Nay was really stepped up her game. She's getting healthy. So you guys don't know, Nay the first couple months was limited in practice. And so she came out and played good. So it was really them scoring, but the team did a really good job of like getting the ball to them, being unselfish, not caring about who was getting, all the all the shots, and just found a way to win. So it was really good. And defensively, we were good.
The 40 points, just part of what's been a really big month here for Zara. 20 plus in 3 of the last 4. She's averaging 18 in conference play. Something clicking a little bit more all of a sudden?
Yeah, I think that, she's young. So when I think about Zara, she did not play a lot at Cal. She didn't have a big role at Cal. So to me, when I look at her and I look at her game, I look at the mistakes she makes, and I also look at her bright spots, she's basically like a freshman again as far as experience. So there's a lot of things she's learning as the year progresses, and she's improving on. I think that she hasn't even gotten close to touching her ceiling. I think that she has the ability to be so much better. And honestly, before I started coaching her, I didn't think she could shoot. Because when we used to play against
her,
yeah, she did. Because at first I remember like, hey, your shot's a little better than I thought. Because when we played against her when I was at Arizona, we didn't play her as a shooter. So I just think that she didn't have confidence. So now she's actually a really good shooter. She's got good form, and she's an athlete, so she can play herself. She's learning how to play our defense, and she will be a really good defender. But this is all stuff that she's learning, and she came from a system that was completely opposite from how we play. So the future is bright. I'd say she's going to be a superstar for sure.
Coach, another player who had a great performance, Anaya Brown.
Yeah.
She had 20 points now in back-to-back games. So how have you seen her grow this season and really step into her own for her senior season?
First of all, she's another amazing kid. So this group, this is their little group. This is the core of like the future of us. And Nae's not here right now because she has class. And she's actually a senior, so they'll be sad because she's not going to be a part of this. But she is a player that the first couple of months she was limited. She was having a lot of major issues with her back, and she's gotten some therapy, put her with some great doctors, and she is completely different the last month. She feels different. Her bounce is back. This is the bounce she had when we first recruited her and when we first started in the summer. So I think her confidence, her health, and she's just really risen to the occasion. Because she knows we need her, she knows we're relying on her. She got back into the starting lineup, and so I think it's also a confidence thing. And she's really has some pep in her step. If you would have seen her like 3 weeks ago, she was kind of hunched over. She couldn't practice full go. She was getting thrown around like a rag doll, and now her spring's back, and this is the Nae that we wanted her to be, and that we knew she could be the whole year. In
that game Sunday at Pitt, you're down 11 in the second quarter. How encouraging is it to see them not say, well, here we go again and pack it in, but instead turn it around the way they did in that second half?
Yeah, very impressive. And it was like a 20-point swing. So in a month ago, we were not able to do that. We would have lost by 30. And I think that we had to go to a press. And we went to a couple different presses that really created some defensive just opportunities for us to score on offense. And they did a really good job of executing it. And I had questions about it because we were really big and we weren't as athletic or mobile. And they did a really good job of intercepting. I thought Grace and Yana were great in the press. And then, Nae and Jazzy and Zara at the top were really good. So I think just sticking with it when you haven't won in a while, I think that's very hard because you're like, because sometimes you can look at the score and you say, oh, here we go again. It's very easy to do that. And then we had a couple big plays. Zara made some big baskets. Nae had some good plays. They had some really good, like 50-50 balls. Mm-hmm. They gave us momentum, and then it was a swing. So not hard. It's very hard. Sorry, it's very hard to do on the road. But I was really impressed with how he handled it, and just our mentality and the way that they were responded to a little adversity. So that's an area we've grown in that we would not have been able to do a month ago.
All right, Coach, now for my favorite time of the show, the Mustang Minute. Look at all the juicy questions. Okay. All right. You played 12 seasons professionally and overseas. What's one of your all-time favorite playing memories?
Well, winning a championship.
Winning a WNBA championship.
Yeah, WNBA championship. Sure. It's funny because I won it as a player, and then it was a year after I tore my ACL, and then I won it as like a broadcaster for the team. So that was cool to kind of see two different vantage points, but that was probably one of my best memories.
How did you enjoy being a broadcaster?
I liked it. I didn't love it because because you go to a game, you're supposed to look all good, and it's all subjective. You go to this game and you don't talk to any players. You just study the game. You talk about them. So I'd always be like, well, how's the team? I wanted to know more. I really like the team environment. I like being a part of the team and building it, and I think just that, I don't know, it's just different.
You still look really good every game, though. You still dress up for every game. We have to say that. Coach, Italy means a lot to you. You played there. Your husband's
I recruited a man from Italy, you guys.
I know you did. You did. You're the best prospect yet, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes.
What's your favorite Italian dish?
Well, I'm half Italian.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my husband's chicken because he makes beef jerky. It's like his chicken. Do not ever eat chicken at the Copa House. You will not come back to visit us. But I think one of my favorite Italian dishes is his mother's Parmigiana. So you guys, Americans think Parmigiana is like chicken Parmesan. That's not Parmigiana in Italian, like for Italians.
Yeah.
It's eggplant, and it's made like in a lasagna. So that's called Parmigiana. That's the real Parmigiana. So
have you ever been to Olive Garden? Or is that absolutely not? We can never go there.
Olive Garden ticks Sal off. They're always like, we have Italian. He's like, that's not Italian. But he gets really mad. But he loves Dallas because there's like a big Italian community here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he meets Italians everywhere. And it's funny, there's like the Sicilians of Dallas Club. So he's like meeting all these people, living his best life.
Wow.
So yeah. So I better watch out because he could find an Italian girlfriend here if he wanted to.
I can say they sound shady there.
No, but it's just weird. I didn't think there'd be like Italians in Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Coach, since we have the team here, who on the team would you let babysit your kids?
There's a couple I would not say because they'll be mad at. You guys would be surprised who listens to these shows and stuff. They just they're so nosy. They'll be like, well, you said this on the radio, and they'll be mad for a week. Who would I know who I would not. I would let this crew, but I'd watch them on my cameras like a hawk. So I think I would let them. I would let Mylene,
right
yes,
okay.
I know her. Carter, I would, but yeah, I got to watch him because they'll have my son liking steak and all kinds of fancy stuff. Mylene, I would let. Roxy, I would let. Zara. Elise, I don't know. Elise is a little sneaky. Elise is kind of sneaky. She might teach him some weird cyber stuff on the computer because she's all into the cyber security and all this.
She'll
stuff.
hack your cameras that you're watching them on.
She'll have him hacking my phone and knowing how to use everything. Zara and Jazzy, I would let them. There's some I would never let watch my kids ever, not even in the locker room.
But this group right here would get.
I want to say who, but they know who. But I would let them. And Carter's actually good. Capri loves them.
Perfect, Coach. That's it for our Mustang Minute. Thank you.
Well, you talked about it a moment ago about injuries and how much they've affected things, and having no point guard here the last few games. How have you dealt with that? I mean, are you teaching players on the fly at practice or on the fly in games how to move to different spots?
We're doing a lot of different things this year than I normally do. We're playing more zone than I normally do. We're playing a lot different defense. I think you just have to adjust and you have to pivot. So things are what they are. I have no control over it. Did not anticipate starting the year not really having Ty. Ty is one of our best players. I was going to be a starting point guard, got hurt, so couldn't control that. Didn't expect Mylene to be out. Someone who knows my system, she tore her knee in the World Championship game with Germany. So all of those things, but they're not controllable. So I have to figure out, we have a great group of young women that are fighting, trying, so just had to put some people in different positions and just figure out a way. And like I learned with this team was not going to go and press and stuff. They weren't. So typically, if you have a team that really doesn't score well in the half court, you got to find different ways to manufacture scoring, right? Easy scoring opportunities. But this team didn't really bite with that. And that was like a first for me. So I've had to adjust a lot as a coach, which is okay, and just try to kind of figure out ways. And I think for us, if you say zone in a practice, they're like, yeah, they start asking me, are we going to play zone? Like, they love zone. They do not like to play man-to-man. They do not like to press. So I think you just have to adjust. But they've done a really good job of like Jaws learning the 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, Zara's having to play point guard, but it is what it is. And I think they've done a good job. But obviously, we hoped we would have had more people healthy. I mean, 7 players out's a lot. But what are you going to do? Like, you can't cry about it. You sometimes want to cry about it, but you just got to figure it out.
Coach, a really big home game tomorrow against Florida State. How big is it to take that energy from this last win and go into tomorrow, your home crowd there, and get the win? Yeah, it's really important. I think, obviously, the last game on the road, I think it shows us that you can be in a tough situation, you can be down, and you can figure it out, and you can find a way to win. So I think that was really good. I think a lot of players don't know how to win, and they've never won at the highest level. So I think learning that, and you do that through just experience. So
coming back home for sure in a team that's also in a very similar situation to us. So they are also out with some top players, figuring out their identity, shifting things, so very similar. So for us, we're in a situation, have 2 winnable games at home. We need to try to win, obviously, and just try to really get some of these wins and accumulated to try to make it to the ACC tournament, which it's not easy. Yeah. So definitely important. So we need you guys to come out. There's nothing to do because it's going to be freezing this week. So just come out, bring your friends, and to have some Moody magic and help us get a win. It's an important game, and we're both yearning for a win.
It's tomorrow night, 6:30 at Moody Coliseum. It's also on ACCNX as well as John Hendry on the SMU app and on Sirius XM satellite radio. Adia, thanks for joining us, and let's look forward to tomorrow night.
Thank you.
That is Adia Barnes, women's basketball coach, joining us here on Mustangs Mic'd Up. We're going to talk men's basketball with associate head coach Chris Capko next. Welcome back here to Mustangs Mic'd Up. We do this Wednesday nights here at Ozona Grill and Bar. Be sure you stop by on Greenville Avenue. They have the best patio in town and happy hour from 4 to 7 every Sunday through Friday. Enjoy $1 off bar drinks and complimentary chips and salsa. Ozona Grill and Bar. Find your comfort zone. We'll wrap things up here tonight as we're joined by men's basketball associate head coach Chris Capko. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, for all the people who stayed to the 9th inning, I appreciate you guys. For the only assistant on the panel.
You're good.
Yeah.
We had a late one last night, too, and a very early return from Wake Forest, but was certainly worth it. 91-79 win. Big win because not getting into the weeds too much, but it's what we call the quad one win. You guys got to pile up. That's 3 of those, I believe, now this year.
That's 3. And for those of us, unfortunately, my life at this point is determined by quad one wins. It defines my happiness on a daily basis and how I interact with everyone. So we're coming off one, so I'm good.
They're very important for tournament resume. Wake counts as one. North Carolina and Texas A&M all count as one. How much are you watching those teams and rooting for those teams so that they stay in that quad one status?
What if I told you I knew North Carolina was up 25 right now?
Awesome.
Would that answer your question?
Yes, and I'm glad to hear that, by the way, because they're 30 right now.
So I was wrong. Yeah.
No. They're 30th in the
exactly.
net right now.
Yeah. We need that. We need that. So, yes, I pay attention daily to the teams we've played and their results. Unfortunately, I hang on to that stuff day to day right now. So
sure.
It's one of the pitfalls.
Yeah, Coach, talking a little bit about B.J. Edwards and his performance he had last night, 24 points. I mean, last season he averaged about 9 points, and he said, clap to that, 24 points by B.J. last night. Yeah. Last season he only averaged about 9 points. He was incredible on defense last year, but he said before this season that his goal was to be really that offensive threat as well this year. So how have you seen him improve this season to be this offensive threat now?
Yeah, BJ's been really, really fun to watch him grow. And when we got here last year, just to see, you start to do a deep dive on kind of who you're retaining and who's here. And so to see his growth from that year to last year was really fun. And he's, broke into the starting lineup, and everything he did, he earned. And we felt like there was a necessity to have him on the floor and just him to be out there because he always impacted the game in a positive way. And so going from last year to this year now, just being a more consistent offensive threat, shooting the ball more consistently, scoring the ball more consistently, has been one part of it. But I think I would be remiss in terms of BJ's game if it's just the way he impacts everything. I'm sorry, I didn't sleep much, but I think he had 6 assists or 7 assists yesterday, 8 rebounds.
8 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 steals.
6 steals. So he touched every part of the stat sheet yesterday. Early on, when we were trying to get separation, he created steals that got us easier baskets or offensive rebounds that led to easier baskets. And so he just does so much. And I know for him it's important to score just because it's kind of like the last piece to what he needs to add to his game. But for us, even when he's not scoring, he just does so much, and he just brings just an energy and toughness to our group every day that we need. And so when he's scoring, we're really good, but even if he's not, he just does so much that he's so valuable.
All right, Herman Hudson, our SID, just sent me this a little while ago. Only 13 players this year have had a 20-point, 5 rebound, 5 steal, 5 assist game. And only one has had multiple, and he's had 3. BJ has
There
had
you go.
3.
Wow.
Clap that. Yeah.
That is filling the
Clap
stat
to that.
sheet.
Yeah.
And, of course, he has 2 triple-doubles this year, the
I was-
only player in the nation with 2 triple-doubles.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That was a stat that at the time, maybe when he had his last one, I didn't know if it still stood, but yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
there we go.
And the only one I've ever watched in person was steals.
Yeah.
In the
yeah.
triple-double.
10 steals.
And,
yeah.
what does he do? And he already set the school record last year for single-season steals, and he's on pace to shatter it this year. What's his magic? What's his secret there?
He anticipates. Sometimes, there's the gift and the curse with guys who have that level of feel and anticipation on their side, because sometimes he gets out of position too, and you'll start to see me stand up and maybe scream a little bit. But you got to live with the good and the bad with him. And so on the days where he has 5 or 6 steals, those are the good times. Now, we do ask him to, hey, if he's had a couple where maybe you've gotten out of position that have led to an open 3 or an easier basket, peel that back a little bit. But he's an older guy. He's a veteran at this point, and so we kind of leave it up to him to manage that. And, again, you take the good with the bad, and with him there's a lot more good than bad. So.
Another player I want to talk about is freshman Jaden Toombs. He's now scored in double digits the last 4 out of 6 games, with him only being a freshman, obviously coming from a very good high school dynamic prep. But how proud are you of him and impressed of him that he's able to adjust to the college game so fast and so dominantly?
Yeah, Jaden's been great. I told Rich this yesterday, or maybe it was Scott. It was one of you two. Sorry, I get you guys confused.
That's true. We're used to it.
But his first games were SEC games. He missed because of an injury. He missed the first 7 games. So there's this feeling out process and these repetitions that he didn't get through practice and through games because he had been hurt. And so his first game is Mississippi State, then after that it's Vanderbilt, and after that it's LSU. And so he didn't get this, he didn't get this exhibition game that a lot of these young guys get that they need. And so he comes in, and you can see him getting better every game. In the summer, he has this really good touch. If he can get to his right hand, he finishes it all the time. And so we knew the offensive piece was there, but what really has been the best, what's really been most rewarding to see him grow has been on the defensive side, because his whole life he's always guarded centers, and now he's guarding different players than he's ever guarded. And at first there was a real learning experience for him, a real learning curve, and now you can see him getting better from game to game with that. And so that's been really cool to see, and then that helps us. I thought last night, we started off the game slow defensively, but then we picked it up. I thought him in particular picked it up defensively. And so as he continues to get better, that's where we got to really see more improvements is on that side of the ball. And Jaden getting better on that side of the ball will definitely drive that.
Boopy Miller returning to the scene of the crime, I guess, last night. He did play 2 years ago at Wake Forest. And I was surprised how many of them remembered it, because he was. This was like the old days of the early Mavericks when Kiki Vandeweghe snubbed them when he was drafted first overall and refused to play for an expansion team. And for his whole 12-year career, he got booed every time he touched the ball in Dallas. Boobie got booed every time he touched the ball last night. Did he have fun with that?
Rich, you went back in the archives for that one.
I
Kiki
did.
Vandeweghe, wow.
That's where I grew up, man.
Wow.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I like it. The student section there was great yesterday, and then they let him hear it every time he touched the ball. And he hit a big 3. We kind of gave Wake Forest an RKO earlier in the game. And he hit a 3, and then he got a steal late, and it led to a B.J. Edwards 3, and you could tell it meant something to Boopy. So that was a big win for him. He didn't get to play in the game last year.
Right.
And so it was a big game for him internally, and he played great. Maybe 1 or 2 turnovers more than we would have liked, but he lived up to the expectation he set it for himself, and that we've come to get from him, to be honest with you. So he was great last night, though.
All right, Coach, time for the Mustang Minute. First question I'm actually curious about. A lot of people don't know, when you guys are flying back from games, you get back in Dallas at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. a lot of times, a lot of long nights. What are you doing on the plane ride back? Are you sleeping? Are you game planning for the next game? What are you doing on that flight back?
So a little bit of both. I don't sleep well on flights because I can't sleep standing or sitting up like that. So I watched our game from last night. And then I have the Louisville scout. So our next game is Florida State. We have Louisville. So I watched the Louisville game. And, you're taking notes, or at least I do, when we're on the plane. And then, I guess a little into my personal life, I started to put on Seinfeld. And hopefully I could fall asleep to some noise.
Seinfeld guy? Okay.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So I fell asleep to like the last 20 minutes was the Seinfeld. And that was it. So you try to get a little bit of rest where you can. And then what happens is when I wake up, I'm up.
Yeah.
So then I didn't get home till 3:45, 4 o'clock. I couldn't go to sleep right away, and then probably fell asleep like 4:30, 4:45, and then back at it. My kids were slapping on my face at 6. So I was back to it. So, and here I am. But yeah, I mean, that was, I was telling, I told Herm, the 9 Eastern local game that the ACC gives us should be banned. It should be against the law.
It's terrible
to give anyone a 9 local time. Or actually, I was telling you guys that. So yeah,
it's terrible because it's sitting around all day at the hotel.
Yeah, and then for the road team, you get back at 4 o'clock in the morning, and even if you're the home team, you get back at midnight.
Right.
So
that's
it should be against the law.
I agree.
All right. How long have you been with Coach Enfield now, coaching? I know you were back at USC with him.
I've been with Coach for, this is year 13. I think 11 at USC and then year 2 at SMU, so 13 years.
What? Yeah, that's awesome. You must like him then.
He's all right.
You must like him a little bit.
He's all
What's one funny or interesting fact that we might not know about Coach Enfield?
If he hasn't told you, he set the free throw record in college.
He told me.
He sure has. And I'm sure a lot of us saw that viral video of him shooting threes as well. That was pretty crazy.
That was edited. I'm just playing.
Come on.
No, he can shoot the ball, but he'll let you know he led the country in free throw percentage as a senior at Johns Hopkins. I think it was, at this point, year 13, I should know. I want to say it was like, honestly, I'm disappointed in myself that I don't remember what it was, but it was 6 misses. I can't remember what it was, but it was 6 misses. So at some point he's going to tell everybody in this room that he was a really good shooter too. So that's my fun fact.
Next week, he'll be here.
Well, you played at what, USF, correct?
I played at South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you ever challenged him to like a free throw shootout, a 3-point shootout?
I don't shoot with him. I still play with our guys a little bit though. Yeah, I still play with our guys.
Coach?
Because I don't shoot. And I don't want to give him the leg up on me. Yeah. He's already my boss.
All right. Yeah, that is true.
He already pays me.
Last question for Mustang Minute. Favorite memory off the court with this team?
Off the court with this year's team?
Yeah, WS.
Probably just because it was our first one. You're putting me on the spot, so this is the one that comes to mind, was when we beat Mississippi State. We were down 7 or 9 late. Right, and with this group, it's a new group, so to be down late in our first road game and to come back and win that, we all celebrated.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't believe I said that. Boopy hit a 50-footer.
Yeah,
Boopy hit a 50-footer. What
that
am I
was
thinking?
pretty insane.
Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty wild.
Forget what I said. Yeah, Boopy hitting a 50-footer because honestly, I was, it's just the highs and lows of a game and the highs and lows of this profession, but yeah, I was about to be sick to my stomach and probably not able to sleep that night. And then literally 1 inbound, 2 dribbles, 50-foot heave, and then you feel completely different about your whole night. And everyone in the arena feels completely different, and it changes your whole mood. So that was definitely it. I'll never forget that shot for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Insane.
So
perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Well, you mentioned you spent all those years at USC with Andy.
Yep.
When he took the job here, and he asked pretty much all his staff there to come here, how quick was the yes?
Well, it was really quick because I didn't have a job. So once he decided to leave, I was unemployed, and so I was asking him, will you hire me? Coach is a really good guy. I wouldn't be with him for all these years if he wasn't, right? And not just me, I'm the longest tenured one, but like Coach Sweats over there has been, I think, 11 or 10. Coach Mobley's been 7 or 8. Jay's been 5 or 6. Like, we've all been together for a while now. Karras has been here with us as a player and as a staff for 8 or 9. And so when this was happening, we talked, and he talked to everybody and values everyone's opinion, and we felt like it was just time. And I think because we've talked about it, but we've always had high regard for SMU dating back to the home and home series that we started with SMU in 2016-17. And then we played them in the tournament in Oklahoma, and the place, definitely outnumbered us when we were at USC, and it was a great crowd. But what really, probably the fondest memory is when we returned to Moody the following year, and the place was rocking. It was a really hard environment. You walk around campus, you're staying in Dallas, you're like, man, it's a really good job, and really cool school and really good place to live. And, we would always kind of revert back to that or go back to those memories, and everything just kind of felt like it fell into place, and this was the time to do it, and we all felt really good about it.
With that, with you being with Coach Enfield for so long, what's like a value that he's taught you as a coach, or some sort of practice that you've really enjoyed learning from him over the years that you've taken?
What he does is I'm assuming this is by design, but he does a really good job of hiring. And when I lead my own program, he does not micromanage at all. Okay. And you grow a lot through just freedom, and he just gives you an opportunity. That's why I'm here, right? Like, he gives you an opportunity to do a lot, and so you make your mistakes, but you grow through it. But he also hires people who are self-motivated, and he does not have to stay on us to make sure we do our job, or that we go above and beyond to do our job. And he knows that, right? Like, he doesn't have to call me to make sure I'm recruiting, or make sure I'm getting on the floor with the player, or make sure I'm doing our work. And and so you just continue to grow through him. And so I think he does a really good job hiring, and giving people freedom, and giving people confidence to go about doing their job. He allows everyone to talk. Everyone has an opinion, and I think everyone feels a sense of responsibility in terms of what they bring to the table, because he does value what you do. Yeah. And so I'm getting long-winded here, but a lot of people in coaching, I have a lot of friends who aren't happy with their boss, because it can be a grind, right? We hit February, and the season doesn't feel like a grind. We still feel fresh. We still feel happy. We still enjoy coming to work. We're not tired of seeing each other. We're not sick of seeing each other. And so I think that stuff matters, and we enjoy coming to work every day and being around each other every day. So.
Next up is Florida State at 3 o'clock Saturday. I know you don't have the scout, but I know you know some things, I'm sure, about them. New coach, all new team, and that's just kind of the way of the world it is now, isn't it?
Yep. Coach is a personal friend of mine. We're from almost the same area in Florida, and first-year program, trying to figure it out. Recruit almost had to sign a whole new team. They shoot a ton of threes, so it's going to be a lot of shots getting up. They basically are same size throughout their lineup. Their point guard 6'3" to their center 6'8", and they switch a lot. And we'll mix up man-to-man and zone, but they're going to shoot a lot of threes, so guarding the three-point line is going to be a big key for us.
Well, we look forward to it Saturday, 3 o'clock, Moody Coliseum. It's on the ACC Network. Scott Garner and I will have it on the SMU app. It will also be on Sirius XM Channel 371. Next week, we'll have another edition of Mustangs Mic'd Up at 7 o'clock here at Ozona. We'll talk rowing with head coach Chase Graham, men's tennis with Coach Grant Chin, and then Andy Enfield will be here, and he'll tell us all the lies that were revealed here today.
All of them.
All of them. By Chris Capko. Chris, thanks for joining us here on the show tonight. Thanks for everybody coming out to join us as well here at Ozona Grill and Bar. And we'll see you here next Wednesday night for Mustangs Mic'd Up.
You've been listening to Mustangs Mic'd Up, presented by the SMU Cox School of Business. Your inside look at all things SMU athletics. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Mustangs Sports Network.